Hello, my name is Kate Hodson and I'm a partner at Ogier based in our Hong Kong office. I've been with Ogier for 11 years and my practice is focused on investment funds. So that includes the formation of investment funds and related regulatory advice, structuring considerations and downstream transactions. Last year, I completed a master's in energy and environmental law from the Chinese University of Hong Kong. And I've been working with Ogier to build out our legal services relating to sustainable investing in ESG and now head up this mission within our firm. Law firms, including Ogier, are having to consider ESG and sustainability from a number of angles. The two key areas being one, to look at their own business and assess and improve their performance when it comes to matters such as carbon emissions, diversity and inclusion, as well as sustainability metrics. And then secondly, how best to integrate ESG matters into the legal services that they are offering to better support clients and communities to address the issues that we are facing in society today. So matters related to the environment and social and governance factors are multifaceted and complex issues, and we as lawyers need to be on top of them. Gone are the days of the E&S consideration solely sitting within the remits of human rights and environmental lawyers. Now we are seeing corporate and commercial law firms and lawyers having to think about these issues as the finance industry as a whole is being drawn into the race to net zero and alignment with the concept of sustainable development. Lawyers are in a position to help bring about as well as support transformational change. We are heavily involved in structuring the frameworks and contracts that support the transition to a low carbon economy, to support sustainable investing and the new forms of products that are being developed as part of this transition. Lawyers can uphold but also push the boundaries of interpretation of legal principles, serving the purpose of environmental and social protection so that they can better address the issues and challenges of today's world. Importantly, lawyers can also help with innovation by finding novel ways of structuring mechanisms, which can, for example, help provide investors with assurance about the integrity of a transaction, whether that be structuring loan or bond documentation with environmental or social KPIs, assisting on blended finance transactions or otherwise. Finally, we are seeing law firms going beyond pure hard law and assisting to advise clients on risk strategy and more practical implementation measures. We have seen a huge uptick in law firms talking about climate, ESG and sustainability, particularly from a client services offering perspective. But law firms are expected to walk the talk when it comes to sustainability as well. A significant number of large city law firms are already a good way down this path. For many, they are earlier on in the journey. The first step is to perhaps assess the current state of play within the business, and then to make well thought out and ambitious commitments to which a firm will hold itself accountable. One would generally expect an experienced individual or team to lead the development and implementation of the sustainability strategy, and such person should have a direct reporting line to the legal executive board so that matters can be raised to the top level and challenges made where necessary. For example, at Ogier, we've hired a head of sustainability. This is a global role, and we've chosen someone who has an impressive background with many years of sustainability experience. Importantly, she is someone who has the resilience who can help push boundaries within the firm. A head of sustainability really needs to be well supported by an operations team who can help measure and manage all the data that has to go into managing a business's environmental footprint. And then ultimately you'll need buy-in from the leadership. I mentioned this last, but actually it's the most important factor. We know that there will be challenges in the sustainability journey, and it's perhaps important not to get ahead of ourselves and just delivering all the positive news, but acknowledge that where we are and where we continue to have negative impacts, but how we hope to address this as our strategy develops over a period of time. There are, of course, credible and less credible ways of making pledges and moving forward. A number of leading firms are making commitments to SBTI, the Science-Based Target Initiative, which is the global body enabling businesses to set emission reduction targets in line with climate science. But I think we have to also bear in mind that the potential influence of a law firm can potentially go further than simply reducing its own carbon footprint. And so it's perhaps not surprising that the newly formed Net Zero Lawyers Alliance also focuses on areas of engagement, capacity building and pro bono work. One area I would say is the talent gap in sustainability. Almost overnight, some of our lawyers are now needing to be in a position to advise on issues relating to climate change and other environmental and social factors in the context of corporate and financial transactions. We have seen how beneficial it is to clients when our lawyers are not just technical banking, corporate or capital markets lawyers, but also have sufficient knowledge about ESG factors so they can appropriately help identify risks in documentation and transactions and guide clients appropriately. We, like other law firms, are therefore focusing on delivering ESG training and know-how to our lawyers. That doesn't make ESG experts overnight, but it does help build expertise over time and raise awareness. We've also found through running a survey in our firm that we already have a number of lawyers that have useful skill sets from prior roles, such as in the area of human rights, that we can now leverage. Further, our sister company, Ogier Global, which houses our fiduciary services and corporate administration business, has launched a sustainable investing and ESG consultancy and has hired experienced tenured sustainability professionals to its team. So by partnering with the consultancy team, we are able to offer combined legal and regulatory advice paired with technical implementation aspects. Finally, I would say one of the challenges is just how multifaceted this whole topic is. It's tempting to try and cover everything, but at the end of the day, we prefer to focus on the areas where we can be experts and then build partnerships within the broader industry so that we can bring the right expertise together.